The 2022 International Youth Day theme is designed to amplify the message that action is needed across all generations to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and leave no one behind, by raising awareness on certain barriers to intergenerational solidarity, notably ageism. According to Wikipedia, youths in Uganda are over 77% of the total population aged under 25 years of age. The United Nations Global Report on Ageism, launched in March 2021, highlights many data gaps that exist with regard to ageism against youth. In response to this day's celebrations, different stakeholders in Uganda embraced the day.
This theme is that to unite the entire world, to unite from all the private sector. You talk about civil society, talk about governments, you talk about even local governments at times, traditional leaders.
The intergenerational solidarity, to me, and also to the organization, means that we, all of us, work in harmony, no matter how our age is. Remember, how we can be empowered is where now the seniors in bigger positions empower the young generation to take lead.
When we're looking at solidarity, we are looking at mainly three things. We're looking at cohesion, we're looking at structures, we're also looking at association. So it's a very good theme.
𝗜𝗚𝗘𝗜𝗦, the country director SEMA, an organization that gathers citizen feedback to improve service delivery in Uganda's public service sector, cites age-related obstacles they face in pursuit for justice and equity.
Many youth are not knowledgeable about the system, so they cannot, when things come up, they are unable to achieve the justice that they believe that they demand. Another thing is that many youth lack interest and also trust in the systems. There are some programs already in place, but you find these programs are mainly, some of them have made it political. They've made them, you have to be affiliated to a certain political group, then you'll be able to access some funding.
Brian Mangeni, the Chief Executive Officer 𝗜𝗡𝗦𝗠, a business accelerator in Uganda, appreciates the theme and highlights how youth are affected by age in entrepreneurship.
I love the theme that has been chosen for this year because it's quite in line with what especially we have been trying to do at Einstein Rising with the different programs that we do, because we always encounter the issues that come up by there being a gap between the older generation and the younger generation of entrepreneurs. You find that the older generation is conservative, understands things a certain way, and wants to do things in that way, while the new generation is embracing new ideas, getting excited about new technologies, but they are running so fast and they ignore some of the basics that the older generation can actually teach them.
MoJo, 𝗜𝗚𝗘𝗜𝗦, the executive director, 𝗜𝗡𝗘𝗦 Development Foundation that aims at empowering women and youth in less privileged communities, especially in reproductive health, also states some of the age-related problems they face.
When it comes to sexual reproductive health, you realize that there is still a bigger gap in breaking stigma that is actually brought up by our own communities. And also the elders not training the young people on how to undergo those changes. And also letting the boys know that it doesn't matter which type of age you are, but if you're ready to express yourself and also be ready to empower others, you can do a difference.
Referring to recent floods in Mbale district, Derek Mugisha, the regional director Earth Day Network Uganda, narrates how the theme is relevant to them.
When you see this theme and seeing climate change and this intergenerational equity, we see that none of us will be spared because of the needs that we need as human beings. and also look at the environment around us. We saw recently floods in Mbari, and you saw people were reported dead. It included kids, it included adults, it also included the old, but also it didn't spare the animals as well. We saw so many, like hundreds of animals floating on water. So that shows that this thing is really dangerous, and unless, and no one can solve it alone unless now we all come together.
Nonetheless, some youths are not intimidated by the prevailing age-related challenges, asserting that the day has come when they are ready to fight, as 𝗜𝗚𝗘𝗦𝗠, a journalist at Vision Group, explains.
The issue of age is irritating because in most cases the youth are not given a chance to truly exploit what they know or what they can do. Because first of all, they are not trusted. They could be denied a chance because of age. But the one who has denied you a chance, he or she forgets that is giving you an opportunity to realize your mistakes, then set yourself to rise. Because some people are not accepting that when you are not given a chance, when you are denied, when you are rejected, that person is creating an opportunity for you to realize your own mistake. I would call it self-reflection.
Contrary to 𝗜𝗚𝗘𝗦𝗠's statement, 𝗜𝗚𝗘𝗜𝗦𝗠, a refugee from Democratic Republic of Congo, says it is a different story for the less privileged youth.
For 8 years I was living in Uganda. My life is very dangerous, it's very terrible, it's very hard. In 2016, I was going to work on housemaid. When I was working, my boss was doing for me bad work because she wanted to sleep with me. Has fought me, is it woman? Forced me like rape. When I was raping me, I get pregnant. After getting pregnant, she has chased me away. About police, I put my case there in police. Up to now, say we are following. Up to now.
In response to such issues, non-government organizations have been established to fight for the rights of such people. Young African Refugees for Integral Development, located in Nsambya Machinde, is one of these organizations, as 𝗜𝗚𝗘𝗦𝗠, the Woman Empowerment Coordinator, clarifies.
As a youth organization, we are empowering youth, ladies, and boys in making different products like tailoring. We have tailoring, we have art and crafts, we have also English class, we have computer lab.
𝗜𝗚𝗘𝗦𝗠 also edifies how the organization has helped the youth to overcome age-related problems.
We have also other trainings that we are giving to them out. There is like parenting, we have also reproductive health, where we are teaching them about violence, about sex, like that. Like the way how I know on our side, on our parents, is like impossible our parent or mother to come and tell you that this age, we reach this age, we'll be getting like period, we'll be going in period like this. Maybe to do this and this can bring this. But when we are here with them, we are open to them and teach them everything.
Irrespective of all efforts put in place, age-related effects still shake youth livelihoods in various ways.
Ageism is creating a problem for youth entrepreneurs because they are unable to access a lot of opportunities, such as funding or big contracts, because they are perceived as too young, too inexperienced to take on these opportunities, leading to them having to make compromises, like bring on extra co-founders, extra team members, having to recruit a board of seemingly experienced people so that they can just take advantage of these opportunities. there are cases where the board can actually kick out the CEO because of one reason or the other.
The effects of these barriers where young people are not able to express themselves freely, girls still fear themselves, and boys still, look at, for example, menstrual hygiene or menstrual cycle as a myth. This kind of myth need to be broken down.
However, with all challenges and their long effects, Ugandans believe there are possible measures that can be implemented to mitigate them in order to bridge intergenerational gaps.
Through our different programs, and this ties into why I love the theme of the International Youth Day this time around. Through our programs, we're trying to link these two generations. Through our partnership with an organization called Entrepreneurs for Entrepreneurs, we are actually calling on the experience of retired or semi-retired entrepreneurs in Europe, also here locally in Uganda, to mentor the next generation of entrepreneurs through a 6-month mentorship program, after which these entrepreneurs can actually get funding.
This theme is that to unite the entire world, to unite from all the private sector. You talk about civil society, talk about governments, you talk about even local governments at times, traditional leaders, indigenous people. So all these people have to be together, women groups, the youth. So all of us have to come together, and that's what the theme talks about.
For us to ensure that we have a balanced diet in that format, we need to see that young people have a space to speak and also practice what they have learned. It's very important on how actually many young people out there still fear themselves. And also when someone needs, let's say, to have a sanitary pad, they still fear themselves to access it because they feel it is only for the girl child. Remember, if we want to empower girls with ease, even women, we need to involve the male gender so that these boys know what exactly they need to tell their sisters, their siblings at home, so that now girls can go into their peers with ease, and also our mothers are able to, we have what we call knowledge gap that's still existing. We need to break the chain by training and also empowering others to lead.
If the government comes up with more innovations, then the youth will be brought up to a scale where ageism won't be a problem anymore. And also the youth should also pick up interest. Many times the youth say, what will they do about it? It's not our thing, it's not for us, it's already been decided. But if they picked an interest in learning how things work, how structures work, how processes work, then we'll realize that what we are actually calling injustice will come down because they will know their rights. They'll be literate about the different systems and how they can also access different services and programs in the country.
We call upon all state actors, development partners to come on board and ensure that young people have a say in the planning, monitoring, and also the implementation of different programs that are focusing on empowering young people.
According to United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, to achieve sustainable development goals, the world needs to leverage the full potential of all generations and solidarity across all ages. 𝗜𝗡𝗦𝗠𝗑𝗫, Mediapreneur Hub.